Yo, what's good, by the way? What's good? What's good? What's good? Let me get to y'all. I'm gonna get to your question in a second. Let me make sure I just got this post up right quick. Instagram. Boom. Boom. All right. What's good, Chris? What's good? Two Chris's. The old OG Chris. Chris W. Chris Newman. What's good? How I'm doing? I've been chilling. Have the storms passed through? I think it did. I think it did. I barely got touched over here. I believe like it was maybe like a day or two where it was raining, but I haven't seen much rain since then. So pretty sure we chilling now though. Pretty sure we chilling. Grown so much since the last time I've been on stream. Yeah, it's been a minute. I don't know if Chris still here, but the last time he was on stream, last time he probably pulled up, I was probably around like 10K, 8K YouTube ish. And he used to also be in a Twitch stream. So that was like OG days. That was like a year and a half ago. Started streaming about a year and a half ago, and he's been around for a minute. So told y'all the growth gonna keep happening, bro. Regardless of you here or not, the growth gonna happen. And the stream's gonna get better, the video's gonna get better, quality, all that's gonna get better. So um when do you know that you can start increasing your range and form shots, especially if you're trying to rebuild your shot? I would say once form shots begin to get comfortably easy, like to the point where you could probably like swish around, probably say swish around like 8 shots straight, no problem. You know what I'm saying? Pure net around that range. I would say then that's one indicator. A second one would be to actually go and try to shoot some mid-range shots and see your consistency when it comes down to it. Because at the end of the day, form shots and jump shots are two completely different things. And so the most important thing when it comes down to figuring out, all right, how should I progress? How could I improve my actual jump shot in itself is by shooting a jump shot, but maintain the mechanics that you had when you shot your same form shot. So stay true to the mechanics. The only thing you're now incorporating is your legs, like the full body motion, the fluidity mechanics, or mechanics are the same, like I just said, but learning how to really use your legs and time that shot and time your release. So a lot of people aren't able to translate their form shots to real jump shots because they don't realize that shooting is about your legs just as much as it's about your mechanics and what's going on up here. So what I like to do, I would do form shots, but like it's not even form shots. I would do jump shots from like 3 feet away. I'll do jump shots from around like 6 to 7 feet away. All one motion shots, not hanging myself in the air, shooting with the same fluidity that I do when I shoot a three, literally just from 5 feet away from the rim. And now that improves my touch, and it also helps me get my legs activated for when I do shoot jump shots. And I'll literally do like a little like random thing where I'll spin the ball or I'll grab the ball at the net 5 feet away from the corner, boom, grab it out, go to the other side, boom, from the wing. Like it'll just be random and sporadic, and I'll just count up all my makes. So that's what I do sometimes when I start my workouts, and I probably do it damn near every time, just because it really gets my legs activated and show me and helps me be able to use my mechanics up top and then my legs down low. So a little tangent about that, but yo, what's good, Michael? You good? Yeah, I'm chilling. I've been locked in. By the way, if y'all seen the IG content, the workouts, I'm gonna have a video talking about form shooting. I'm gonna have a video talking about form shooting soon, and then another video talking about keeping your elbow on your jump shot. Super soon. It's gonna be a great video. Yo, what's good, Ricky? Francisco, what's good? If y'all got any questions, better let me know ASAP because the breakdown about to get started in about five minutes or so. I just got to make sure everybody get their notifications out. Everybody get here before we actually start. How much rest should I get per week? Because I've been grinding 2 hours per day for the last 20 days and I'm cooked. You should listen to your body. The amount of rest that you need, you should listen to your body in terms of how much you need. So I may not, like I could work out 2 hours for 2 times a day for like a couple weeks, like weeks on end, like consistently. But I don't do 2 a days anymore. I don't got the time to do 2 days. But for me to say that I could do that and be able to still stay like solid, be able to recover, get back to the next workout, no problem. But it may not be the same for you. So you got to kind of like you do with weights, right? I know a lot of y'all heard progressive overloading when it comes to weights, like slowly increasing the amount of weight that you use for your sets and for a number of reps. Do the same thing when it comes down to how much you're working out. So instead of trying to go from, for example, if I'm trying to max out on the bench, right? You shouldn't be doing that as a hooper. I'm gonna be honest. You shouldn't be doing it. But if I'm trying to max out on the bench, I'm a bodybuilder. I'm just some regular person who goes to the gym. I'm not gonna try to go from my 185 max to 255. That's goofy. You're not gonna get 255. I'll try 195. You know what I'm saying? I hit 185 last time. All right, I'll try 190, 195, right? But you're not gonna jump 70 pounds. For me to say you shouldn't be out here going 2 times as hard as you did before, as to what your body is accustomed to and is capable of doing. So, yeah, progress yourself slowly. Start yourself at an area you can manage, and then add a little more, like week by week. I'm an actual team. I like hooping way more and actually watching basketball and studying. That's what happens sometimes too. A lot of people think I gotta go pro, I gotta go to the NBA just because that's what you watch, but it's really not like that, bro. It's really not like that. I need help with my rent, bro. Bro, I don't know if I can help you with that. What's the key for improving your IQ? Questioning everything you do. Question every move you make, every decision you make, and see how you could do better, and see why something you did was good. If you always question, you'll find your way to answers. After I did workouts in the gym that made my shoulders and arms sore. It depends on what you're doing in the gym to make your shoulders and arms sore. There's 2 ways you could go about it. Stop lifting entirely. I wouldn't recommend that. Or you could start lifting properly and you may still get sore, but then I would recommend that. But the sore part, we still got to address that. Lift properly, meaning don't do the Olympic style, bodybuilder style of lifts. Lift functionally. And then 2, actually eat right, recover right. Drink enough water, get clean food, stop eating junk food. That's the main reason y'all be getting sore. And then going to my sophomore year, I was like, all right, I'm way behind the 8 ball. Or I'm way behind. What can I do to be able to make up for that? So I started eating cleaner, started eating 3 meals a day, getting about 40 grams of protein per meal. If I need to eat a little more, I would eat a little more, but it wouldn't really be that necessary. And I'll just eat enough as to how much I'm working out. And so, long story short, once you actually start eating right, your recovery will enhance. And after that point, I'll barely get sore. Like, if anything, I'll mainly deal with ankle sprains or some shit, but that was something in terms of how I lift and how I was working out that I could improve. My ankles weren't strong enough, my calves weren't strong enough, so I had to sharpen that up. But after that, like, I was chilling. Like, once you actually start eating right, you'll have no problem with that. You're not trolling. Hey, bro, I don't know if I'm the one here who can help you with that, man. I know there's some lottery tickets in the gas station around the corner, so you could go ahead and try that. They'll give you a cool $5 or something. You know what I'm saying? Get a little scratch-offs type shit. It's hard for me to go to the gym consistently since I'm underage and my parents just don't take me, so it's better to work on my skill so it's better to work on my skill and worry about skill than worrying about the gym. I mean, you can still do some stuff at home. You can do some isometrics at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, get something that's a foot and a half elevated, hit yourself a little rear foot elevated, split squat isometric. Like, you can get real creative with the stuff you can do at home. Like, when I first started my vertical jump stuff, I had like the maximum weights I had in my crib because of COVID. I had bought some dumbbells, or like not even dumbbells, but some like weight plates, like the little like dumbbell clips, like dumbbell plates you could use. But I had that, and it goes up to like 35 pounds. But even if I didn't have that, I would still be able to get some isometrics in. And I'll literally just go into the point where I feel it. You don't have to do 15 seconds of isometric. It just means, okay, let me get down to a point where I feel the last like 5 to 10 seconds for real. So you can still do a lot of stuff at home. You just got to get real creative. Start using your mind. Start really thinking. Can we get a Paulo Banchero breakdown? Most definitely going to happen during the year. I'm from Orlando. I'm most definitely going to watch the Magic again. Multiple times throughout the year. That's a priority breakdown. Right there. The first sign is you a new sub. Hold on, I get a sub. Yo, appreciate the sub, Michael. You just subbed up 4 minutes ago. When I go to the gym, I always end up playing two or 3-on-3 with other guys, but it's just more important to get my workout in or actually play. Depends on what you need. You gotta ask yourself, what do I need to do? Like, what should I be doing right now that's gonna help me with the goal that I have when I'm about to get to my season? You just gotta ask yourself that question, because you always have a long-term goal. Like, you have a bigger goal, right? A longer short-term goal, because 3-4 months away isn't that much of a long-term goal, to be honest. But yeah, like, you got to be able to think where you want to end up being by a certain time, like just where you are now, and then question what you're doing now to see if it aligns with that. And so you want to be able to improve and get yourself better according to what exactly that is. So that's for you to discern. That's for you to discern. It's going to be different for everybody. I missed the beginning. What's up with everyone? Yo, what's good though? What's good though, Chris? We about to get started with this breakdown. We about to get started. Should I play club or should I just focus on skills and working on getting smarter in basketball? Grade 10. What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? It's always about what you need. It's not doing what's generalized and what's popular. It's about being specific and understanding what you need as an individual. So your game is going to be completely different from everybody else's. Your role is going to be different from damn near everybody else's. So that means when you step on the court and you want to be able to get results, what you're going to have to provide and what you're going to have to be good in is also going to be different, which means the way you prepare is also got to be different because what you're going to be good in is what you prepare for, right? Usually most times as long as you prepare properly, but that's what we're talking about now, preparing properly. And so think about the type of role you're going to have in high school, the type of role you're going to have on your team, the type of stuff your coach wants to see, but most importantly, the type of player that you are. Not the type of player you want to be, but what do I already know that I'm good at, right? What do I already know that I'm good at, and how can I be able to incorporate this with what my team does? And then now you train according to that and also think about what you lacked in past seasons and past games with past teams. You know what I'm saying? So you got to mix all that stuff in and really block out all the stuff that have to deal with what everybody else does, right? You don't got to be a 5-star, by the way. You don't got to be a 4-star. That's the type of shit that be getting into people's mind that be messing them up. You just got to understand what you need for your situation at your point that you're in right now. So you got to think about that. I need y'all to think. Y'all going to have to start doing some thinking if you actually want to accomplish the goals that you have. So how long you learn the dreads? Last time there was little. Hey, bro, I don't know. I thought about cutting them a little while ago. Not a little while ago, like maybe a few weeks. Like, when would I do it? Eventually, I'm going to do it, but I have no clue when. Bro. Do I watch EuroLeague? Nah, I don't watch EuroLeague. I got a lot of my time right now has been very occupied working on some other stuff on the side. I got better over the summer, but I want to get better than I am now. I'm in grade 8. I mean, essentially, if you got better with what you did, if you got better from what you were before, think about what you did that helped you get better and understand the concept behind it. You probably just focused on something, or actually, usually what it is, especially since you're in 8th grade, all you probably did, right? You didn't have some sort of crazy workout plan where it was super detailed and super nuanced and you had everything written down and you did all this studying and it was you damn near broke it down to science. You ain't have none of that. You just committed yourself to a certain extent, more than you did before, right? How hard you worked in the past months was probably just harder than what you have ever done prior to, right? And so simply having commitment and working hard will get you better. But there will be a point where hard work begins to run out almost, right? Where you could keep working as hard as you want, and if you're not being instructed properly, you won't get the results that you want as well. But right now, you still just got to continue to work hard. I say it's more important to build the work ethic than it is to build the IQ and the knowledge and the science of it first. The work ethic is more important first. So you need to at least get that motor, get that commitment, get that discipline. And then once you begin to incorporate the little stuff, like the scientific stuff of the game, like being very detailed, then it's going to be like a whole new breakthrough, right? But just focus right now on just working harder. And so if you got better by doing whatever it is you did before, imagine if you just did a little bit more of what you did before, right? Just do a little bit more, right? And all you got to do to be smart when you work out is think about where you're going to be in the game, what your coach likes to run, the type of plays you run, the type of spots you usually are within those plays, and then begin to work out according exactly to that. If you get a lot of pick and rolls, do some pick and roll stuff. If you get a lot of handoffs, do handoffs. And that's if you get that. If you get ISOs, I really don't even say you should really work on ISOs because it's going to be rare that you get them. But really, pick and rolls, handoffs, off-ball screens, cut in, transition threes, spot-up threes. Work on that stuff, you'll be straight. But long answer, but yeah. Hype for these breakdowns, indeed. Started these breakdowns way early. I used to stream at like 6 p.m. EST. Walking onto a low major D1, I I sent you skill code by PGF. Can you look at it for me? Thanks. Where'd you send it to me on? Where'd you send it to me? J. Cole or Kendrick? J. Cole. You guys see J. Cole in the background, bro? I don't even know why I asked a question. Hold on, let me fix my camera a little bit. See J. Cole right there in my poster in my room. Why you gonna ask that question? Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me post this on Instagram right quick. Let me get this Instagram post up right quick, and then we about to get started. How far are we into? 15 minutes in? We chilling. We solid. But let me get this post up right quick. I already got most of it done. I just literally need to add the link. Give me about 15 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Got that posted. All right, so speaking of PJF, I did a whole upper body routine this morning with his resistance band. I did shoulders, I did back. I didn't do core though. I did shoulders and back. I ain't do triceps, or you already get hit. Biceps already get hit a little bit. Chest, I don't really be doing chest like that. You don't need it too much for basketball. But yeah, I did a whole little routine. With it, with his resistance band. That bit fire. I may do a whole video on that. Where I was at? Oh, you said my first season. Would you give me tips on your first season? I'll say you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. Play through the failure. You mess up once, keep playing, bro. Keep hooping. Because the times you mess up, the mistakes that you make, that's what's gonna show you what you need to work on, right? And so the more you expose yourself to it, instead of running from it, you'll now begin to have the answers, because now all you really got to do is the opposite. You got to train yourself to do the opposite of what you're doing, which was wrong, right? So instead of just reading one player, okay, the opposite of just reading one is now, okay, and I got to read two. I got to read this other person, right? You know what I'm saying? So like it'll be little things like that where if you expose yourself to that weakness, to those mistakes, you'll actually get better. But a lot of people run from it. And so when they begin to think about, all right, what am I not good at? They don't know what they're not good at because they're too scared of trying. They're too scared of failing, particularly. So don't be scared to fail. Make all the mistakes. Think about the mistakes you made. Ask the people who even seen what you did. All right, what should I have done in this situation? How could I have done a little bit better? Like really question all the stuff that you do and seek the solution. I guarantee you it's gonna be a great first year. Sent it on Instagram. I'll people later. I got dummy DMs, but I'll try to get through and peep it. For the European folks, no problem. 37-72 still on the clock. Locked in. You locked in, Zay. Should Magic get caught? No. Don't. No. We don't need that. We don't need Schroeder. We don't need Sexton. We don't need that. All right. We got Suggs and KCP in the backcourt. Paulo's our playmaker. If we get any guard, it's got to be an elite guard. Like, I'm talking a guard who could score. Like, I don't want a Dennis Schroeder. I don't want a Collins. I need someone who could score. Like, Trae Young. Give us Trae Young. Boom, we have a tall back line. Ain't no problem. Paulo back there. Jonathan Isaac back there. Franz could switch a lot. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of length. Pause. And you got Jalen Suggs out there on the perimeter as well. So, if we get a guard, it's got to be an elite guard. Like, we got to make a real move. You play college? I was there for. I ain't played. I was there, but I stopped playing before I could even start. And I was like, nah, I want to coach. Long story short. Next Kyrie was a villain. Next Kyrie was tough. Suggs can't play make, bro. Some players you just know like that's not your game, right? Some players is literally just like that's not your game. So Suggs is one of those dudes who like essentially. Let me say this. If you put me in a lab with Jalen Suggs for a summer, he could become a playmaker. Because there's not a lot of people who could think in a perspective and know how to train in a way so that you could be able to shift your game completely. From, okay, I could only do this, I'm in this pocket, to now open up all these other pockets, right? If you put him into the lab with someone like me, for someone who really thinks the game and understands how to shift how someone even just perceives a lot of things, okay, he could become a playmaker. But he's with the regular player development coaches with the Orlando Magic. Now, I'm not going to trust that for them to be able to help him develop into a playmaker. So I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. I just had to pull something up right quick. I got a little marker I'm about to use on the screen during these breakdowns if I need to. But did you make a YouTube video of the series before? I did. But it's been a while. And now I actually watched the full game through. And now I uncovered more things as to which I didn't see before. So most definitely, this is a new breakdown, damn near. How do I make practice more challenging and competitive? You got to set challenges for you to hit. Like set a target number of shots you got to make out of this. So like if you shooting threes from a spot, all right, I'm not just going to make 10 threes. I got to make 10 out of 12 threes. Now we're talking. And if you don't get it, you got to restart. Right there and then, you just set yourself a number as to what you got to hit out of a certain number of shots. Once you miss it, if you miss it, like if you miss too many, restart. And then you move on to the next one, same thing. I be doing that all the time. That's how I make my shooting workouts challenging. Yeah, I did this a while ago, but this is about to be a completely different breakdown. I can tell you that. And whatever I said back then, just know it's not going to be the same thing I'm about to say now because I already know. I got some gems as to which I didn't uncover last time I watched this. So let me get some water right quick. We about to start. First off, we got Kyrie for the first 2.5 minutes of this breakdown. Right? We got Kyrie for the first about 2.5, maybe 3 minutes. I think it's 2.5. And then after that, we got some stuff about Bron, some stuff about J.R. Smith. Got a couple plays about Iguodala, but largely this is a Kyrie Irving breakdown. How do I get better at ball handling? Dribble more. That's the best thing I can say. Dribble more. All right, but let's lock in though. Make sure this is solid. But we're first going to start with Kyrie in isolation. So I don't think a lot of y'all understand when a player like Kyrie plays in the isolation. He's not watching Klay Thompson saying, how can I beat Klay Thompson? What move should I hit him with next? He's looking over his shoulder. And so when Kyrie gets down to this right wing, you see Ezeli down here at the nail. Now, he's the person who will stop Kyrie from getting to the rim because he's the help defender, right? And so what Kyrie's going to do is now just wait for Ezeli to get out the paint because he has to 2-9, defense at 3 seconds, and now he begins his attack. And he pulls Ezeli in, and Tristan Thompson does exactly what a big should do when a guard drives baseline, which is circle to that middle. He gets hit, boom, 2 points. Boom, 2 points. And now another time, about 2 minutes later, right? Kyrie once again on the right wing, called off the screen. Very similar spacing as you've seen last time, right? Very similar spacing. You got Klay right here, Ezeli over here in the paint, help defender. And now Reed and Ezeli. As he begins to move out, Kyrie gets into his attack. But Klay Thompson does a good job of being able to stay in front, cut off his angle to the rim, force him into a step back, and be able to get that miss. So his ability to play in isolation, not even just this game, but throughout the entire series, and his ability to remain efficient in it by having, by doing little things like that, like those little details of reading that weak side defender, waiting for that 2-9, is what allowed him to be able to cook a Klay, cook a Steph, Iguodala at times, Draymond, whoever was on him throughout the entire series. And so that's how they played the isolation, right? That's how Kyrie was attacking the isolation. But these pick and rolls, a little different thing on these pick and rolls. So in this game 7, or really throughout this entire series, you would see Stephen Curry does not want to switch on to Kyrie or Bron because you know what's going to happen. It's GG's, it's barbecue chicken, right? And so what you're going to see is a hard hedge. And in this hard hedge, a lot of y'all don't realize that that's the perfect opportunity to attack, because realize what's going to be open once that hard hedge leaves. What you're going to see very greatly from this angle right here, right? Because since Klay has to fight over a screen, he's going to be on the side of Kyrie. And now Curry's going to be in the direct line between Kyrie and the rim for a brief period of time. So once Curry's duty is relieved and Klay Thompson is still where he was and Klay can't get back to where he needs to, which is between Kyrie and then the rim, what's now going to be there is a lane to attack. The key, though, is that once you even do get off that screen, is that you decide not to go too far out. You maintain your positioning. You protect the ball by manipulating it like you see Kyrie do over here. Pull the ball all the way back into his pocket, right? Pulled it all the way back into his pocket so he didn't have to go further out, further away from the rim than he already was, right? So that's how he protected the ball. Now he's able to get downhill, get into the paint, contact when he make that change of direction, leads into that separation, and now he's able to get that shot off. Boom, right there from the mid-range. Tough look from that hard hedge. And now, like I just said with Kyrie, the hard hedge you seen with them with Steph, same thing for Bron. It's going to be the same gaps, same angles, where Steph doesn't want to show, going to be stuck on the side because you went over that screen or under whatever it might have been. And now, boom, hezzy right there out of Bron. You bit on it. And you know damn well you shouldn't bite on no hezzy from Bron in 2016. Like, this is 2016 Bron. You know, Bron ain't hezzy pulling that like he is now, right? The fact that Iguodala went for this hezzy, understand, it's because there's all that room between him and Bron, right? He wants to make up all that gap because Steph just left, and he's like, okay, he sees a quick little hezzy, quick little move, he twitches out on it as well. Bron is able to get into a lane. Despite the fact Iguodala knows damn near he'll live with a LeBron hezzy pull in 2016, right? And so you're going to continue to see this hard hedge be layered out, though, as well, right? You're going to see this hard hedge layered out in this play specifically. And so right now, what you got out of Cleveland is them just setting up a set to begin this play, right? You get K-Love to this elbow, Kyrie to this left one, right? High slot, wing area, top of the key. And so with the screen by Kyrie, with already having Curry on it, as a matter of fact, let me go back for a second. Because you'll probably already think, right? You probably would already think, all right, Kyrie already has Curry on him. Why don't you just go attack him one-on-one? Why don't you just go ISO already? You already got your mismatch. But in this set, he's going to develop an even better look to where, why do we even need to run an ISO and make it harder than it has to be, and the defense could stack up, right? What we're going to do instead, right, is we're going to take advantage of that hard hedge we just seen before, because Curry doesn't want to get to Bron, even though he is guarding Kyrie. And so what's now going to happen, Kyrie created the separation, K-Love is able to step in, and now instead of having Curry in an ISO, he damn near has Verjao on an ISO. And so he catches, gets straight into his attack, boom, gets here to a stop, and Verjao is literally 5 steps behind. Can't even do nothing about it, off glass bucket. That's just a smart play to run. Taking advantage of the defensive scheme, the defensive game plan, and running a set as which is going to give you even better look. Because we all know damn well, I would much rather go attack Anderson Verjao than I would rather Steph Curry. Come on, man, it's too. You're going to cook Verjao all day, even more than you would even Steph at this time. So, just a way smarter play to make. And then coming down to the second quarter as well, you're going to have to end up making some sort of change because that hard hedge ain't going to cut it, right? That hard hedge, every single time we done seen it, they're able to get score off of it, right? So now you got Steph up on Kyrie. And so what happens now, they just switch it, right? They just switch it. And this is also what you're going to see later on in the game when it comes down to Steph and Kyrie, which allowed them to hit the shot that got him the ring, right? And this is where the switch begun, halfway through the second, where Kyrie gets on the Steph in the isolation. And at this point, can't really do much. Can't really stay in front, don't got the speed. And mind you, the way he's guarding is out of character. Now I'm going to specify on that. Let me specify on that, right? So this is just about defensive styles. You probably haven't heard much of this at all. And if you have, it's probably from me. But notice how Steph is going to guard Kyrie when he makes a switch, right? And notice his base. Notice how wide and low his base is at this point in time. A lot of coaches teach you to play defense like this, but really, they're setting you up for failure. And understand why. When you play at such of a low base, it eliminates most players' ability to play fast, right? And so understand, when it comes down to playing defense as a whole, the most important thing is that, one, you're able to maintain lateral speed with the bilateral base, and while maintaining your strength in that base as well. And so if you got someone like Steph who's trying to play defense extremely low, that requires you to have a really strong base. Usually you'll see that out of a power jumper, someone who has bigger quads, a 2-foot jumper, someone who's more heavy sets, a stockier player would thrive very well playing low because they have that strength to be able to move laterally and maintain speed and strength all together. But if you got someone like Steph, who you're telling, okay, get this low, play someone like Kyrie, your step is going to be slow. Although you may have a more sturdy base, base is not sturdy enough to be able to stay in front of someone who's moving with the ball and hitting you all these moves like Kyrie will do or any player will do at this point, right? And so he's gonna be a step late because that's just not the way he should be playing defense. And that it's defensive maturity from Steph now to understand, okay, I'm not gonna sit here and try to play defense with a base 2 times my shoulder width, right? Because it's not gonna really leverage him. And so at this point, he's gonna be a step late, playing too far wide, step behind, boom, he ends up fouling him. He just can't stay in front. That was something I even deal with, and I know a lot of y'all probably deal with, trying to play defense like how your coach would say, but it's also personalized, the way you should play defense. So that right there, he just set himself up. I've been going to hoop after this video. Yo, what's good, Gio? What's good? How can I get better if there's no one that helped me with rebounds? Bro, I don't think I get my own rebounds every workout. I've been getting my own rebounds every workout that I've done damn near for the past 2 years. And I've probably improved the most I have in the past 2 years. You got to stop just being lazy. Like, I don't think you realize one thing I tricked myself into doing in liking individual workouts, no rebounder, no partner, no nothing like that, is, okay, I got to get my own rebounds. And where the ball ends up going is all my fault. So if the ball goes 3 courts down, if I'm on an outdoor court and there's dummy rims, that's because I missed that shot that way. But if I lock in and I make more shots, I would only have to go underneath the net to go and get the ball and take another rep. So you got to force yourself to lock in unless you want to be out here doing cardio instead of actually getting shots up. So you got to make sure you lock in, bro. It's a mental thing, bro. It's a mental thing. You could still get you could get a lot better, especially on the fact if you have a partner in your workout and they don't think the same way you do, they don't visualize the same things as you do. Really, if I work out with somebody, I really might have to, my workout may drop back a little bit. The only times I work out with somebody is because the reps I need to get up. But for the most part, like the way I could visualize in a workout by myself and still go gain speed, still keep it competitive, and something that is hard to be able to mimic when you have other people there working out with you. So, or having someone instruct you even through a workout. But that's just me because I already think the game, think the training, think all that stuff straight through. Nah, Kyrie did not deserve it instead of Bron. That's crazy work. Bron, that's crazy work. Kyrie played great, but he can't get not over Bron, dog. Not over Bron. Indeed, they did. Indeed, it was because of Bron. I'm not saying Kyrie should have been the one who gets the MVP. Like I just said, that's why that's crazy work. It would be crazy work if he did. I want to zoom in out, driving straight into the help. Start reading the help before you drive. All you got to do. If you always drive and you run into help and it's like, oh, damn, I ran into help. Start reading the help before you drive so you can see how they move and know who's going to be open. You probably don't read the help until you're right in front of them. And it's like, oh, shoot, I don't have enough time. It's because you waited till they got right in front of you. You waited until you had 3 defenders on you instead of just having 1. And so instead of even having to get to the point where there's 3, you could have been able to read, okay, boom, I'm going to step here. He's going to pull in. I could give it up early. Or I could just even stop myself short or know how to protect the ball once I get here so I don't got to worry about this double team. You know what I'm saying? So, Cavs team could have won it in game 5 or 6. You saying Golden State should have won in 5 or 6? I mean, shit happens. Shit happens. Draymond gets suspended, all that other stuff. I think the Cavs would have won 2015 if they were healthy. I think they would have got 2015. 2016, Golden State would have got it if they had Draymond, but you just flipped the years. Based on situation, like I said before, keep your head up. A lot of y'all don't keep y'all head up, which is why you can't even make a lot of reads when it comes down to passing. Read the actual floor. Don't read your defender. Read the floor. Read all the other 4 help defenders and see how they're moving or where they are. Then it's gonna make sense where you should make a pass to. Guarantee you. So let's go back to isolations though with Kyrie. Let's go back to isolation. So sometimes when you play in an ISO, the defender will do the work for you. Watch the movement of Clay, right? When Kyrie gets to that left side, at this point he's already beat him more to Kyrie's left than Kyrie is even gone, right? And so at this point Kyrie's like, oh, I see a gap here. Split that. And it's not, oh, let me find a way to get to his top foot. He just continued to move left, and he found an angle to then get this direction, even though he is going to see a dig out of Draymond, and he is going to see a Varejao stepping up. So he stops short, boom, and gets into that flow. Right? Recognize the movement. Recognize the movement more than anything. And out here as well. This second angle is going to do this a better job, but I want y'all to just to understand one thing when it comes down to this, right? One thing. Let me see if I can pause it exactly right here, right? Notice this with Kyrie. You see Kyrie's left hand. This entire time Kyrie is driving, his offhand is engaged in contact, and he doesn't leave the contact up until he has to bring the ball up. Y'all got to stop running away from the contact when y'all drive and start seeking contact so that you can have an angle to even be able to get a good shot off. Because if you don't embrace that contact, you don't seek it, then the defender is going to lead you where they want, and you can't keep them off of where you want to get to, and now you have a bad angle. And then you get a missed shot, and then you probably going to start feeling down on yourself because all this stuff happened. Probably the quality of look that you got was sorry. So before you know it, you already got yourself out the game. How you think 20 can go without KD? I don't know, bro. That's a crazy if right there. That's a crazy if. It's a crazy if. Who knows? Maybe the Thunder could come back the next year and beat Golden State because they were up 3-1. You never know. You never know. Man's getting cooked. Hey, man, it's hard to guard somebody like Kyrie. It's hard to guard somebody like Kyrie. And now I want to talk about Draymond in this situation, right? I want to talk about Draymond, right? And this is what really makes a player like Kyrie so special. So understand, right? So with Kyrie having Festus Ezeli on him, you know he's about to cook. But watch Draymond, because it's Draymond who might stop Kyrie. And so as Kyrie works his way to the right side, Draymond keeps eyes on him, right? Boom. I tag Tristan Thompson, make sure I don't get this defensive 3-second, right? And now when Kyrie gets down here towards his baseline, Draymond does not move because the angle that Kyrie has is ass. It's a terrible angle. And it's like, all right, there's no way he could find himself an angle to actually get that up and get a bucket. But what does Kyrie end up doing? Getting through that hip of Ezeli, getting to that left, and getting that bucket. Draymond just stood there because he didn't think he needed help at that point. But Kyrie, last second, boom, he found himself an angle. That's tough. That's tough right there. And in such close quarters, right along that baseline, tough move. I ain't gonna lie, Ezeli was getting cooked. Ezeli was getting cooked. You talking about Clay was getting cooked? No, Ezeli was getting cooked. It was crazy. It was getting cooked crazy. It was bad. It was bad work. And it wasn't this the first game he started all series. So I don't even know why he started him at that point. But that's Steve Kerr, bro. That's Steve Kerr, Team USA coach. Team USA coach. But let's go to Kyrie, back to Kyrie though. So in transition, understand Draymond once again. I want you to think about the defender's perspective because this puts sense to what the offensive player does, right? So understand this, right? So when a defender is going back, their ability to defend decreases tremendously because you're going backwards. It's hard to stay in front of someone who's attacking you straight on. You just don't really have that kind of agility. And so when Kyrie splits to his right side, Draymond has to go back and flip his base at the same time. And so that's why Kyrie can maintain a good angle at the rim. And despite the fact Draymond is a bigger defender, he might be able to get a block. All it takes is a touch high off the glass like this to be able to prevent Draymond from being able to get that. And it's not because he got the ball high where he would block it. It's the angle that he brought it to on the way up into his shot that prevented him from being able to get the block. And now the ball just ended up high off the glass. So those angles are important. It's not about someone being able to pin you from that height. It's about the angle that you have to bring your hand to, not being scared of using all these different angles of the glass so you could be able to get your lays off. Space and Ezeli was both getting cooked. It was getting fried, bro. It was getting fried. But pay attention to this. So another transition play. And now watch what Kyrie does, right? He points down to Tristan Thompson, tells him to set him a drag. Because watch Varejao, right? Varejao is not set. And so since he got a drag screen and Varejao still is not set by the time the screen got set, When Kyrie ends up rejecting the screen and getting downhill, all I got to do is get into his body because he's not set. And since he's not set, he's going to be moving from A to B. And if I hit his body, that's going to be an automatic foul, bring me to the free throw line. And so when you get a defender moving left and right and you get into the paint, don't try to think, oh, how could I be able to go around him? How could I be able to avoid this contact? Seek the contact because you'll get a foul and you'll get yourself to the free throw line. That's simple. And out here too. We all know this play, right? Understand. We all know this play from Kyrie. This lefty lay, right? Tough bucket. But understand how he even got it, right? I don't think y'all understand. Look, because watch what Kyrie does with this dribble right here. He releases the ball out multiple feet in front of him, right? And so watch what Draymond does since he did release that ball. He steps up thinking, oh, I may be able to get to that. But Kyrie picked it right back up and brought it to that left. So now the position that Draymond's in, not good. And now Kyrie just gets a little bit of contact, left, high off the glass lay. He fell for that bait on that release. He fell for that bait on that release. And then he got the and one. And now when we think of Kyrie's highlights from this series, that's probably the ones you always think about. And that's the thing too. They'll make you a player like Kyrie with a handle like that will make you think at times you could be able to get the ball, right? But in reality, it's not them intentionally saying, all right, let me bait him with this, right? It's just that they have such good control over the ball that they could put the ball at various angles around their body, hit different moves, and it may look unorthodox and you may think, oh, I could get a hand on that, but he's just playing so free. He's playing so out of the box, but he's still in control while he's out of the box. So you're not going to be able to get it, which is why when you even see someone like Kyrie lose the ball for a split second, trying to go down and dive for the ball or try to make a play on it, usually is not going to be a smart thing to do. Unless they have completely lost control or you got a hand on it or something. But watch this as well. This pick and roll here too. This pick and roll. This is where Golden State was just getting cooked. Because you have a ball screen, right? And Draymond's guarding the screener. Now Draymond, he could guard Kyrie off the screen and switch. But he's playing a drop because of Steph. Because understand, even if you get yourself to the point where, all right, boom, let's switch Draymond here, boom, step down to Tristan Thompson. You're going to have to off-ball switch that. And honestly, we don't even need to go much further because to do all this stuff in real time, it's an extremely hard thing to do. Extremely tough thing to do. Like you literally have a matter of seconds. And if you don't prepare for a certain situation and everyone's hip to it, it's not going to go well. It's going to go even worse. So Kyrie pulls up right here off that drop, boom, and gets his bucket. And now here, we about to come up on the last few plays for Kyrie. Hey, go to Elijah. Appreciate that sub. And then Dig His Way Up. Also appreciate that sub 13 minutes ago. But here as well. Peep what's going to happen towards the end of this. Peep what's going to happen at the end. So now you got Draymond on Kyrie. And watch what happens on his attack, right? Kyrie tries to veer into Draymond, but he ends up getting off balance because he wasn't able to fully get into Draymond's body like he anticipated by using the move. But regardless, this is why in your workouts, if you miss a lay or you know the ball's going to go in a certain spot, don't just walk over and pick the ball up. Develop the instinct to chase it if you know where it's going to go so that you may be in a spot like that to where you can get the ball right back because you already know where it's going to go and the defense does not, right? So make sure that you pick up that skill, that instinct, right? And that, like I said, could be picked up in your workouts. So even peep this veer here too. Off balance, couldn't get fully into the body. Like you would really want them got fouled on that. and one. Appreciate you, bro, for this. It's real. Indeed, it's just hoops, bro. Got to get better. This hoops. Now I got to tell y'all two things about this play. I got to tell y'all two things when it comes to playing in isolation. So at this point, Cleveland just came off a timeout, right? And so when it comes down to running a play that you want, a lot of people get this confused, right? A lot of people get these situations confused. I'm going to start it from the top. But when you want to get to your spots, it's not just about what do I like to get to, where do I like to shoot a shot from. It's about where would I like to shoot a shot from with the person that's in front of me. Who is guarding me? And what type of spots do I like according to that defender. And so in a situation like this, you got Kyrie with Klay, but in a very short time, he's about to get the switch with Stephen Curry on his right side, and we know what shot he's going to get into, right? And this is set up exactly for Stephen Curry. Because if he had a Iguodala, if he had Klay Thompson, if he had anybody else on the floor, the shot that he'll take in this time probably would be different than the one he's going to take with Steph on him. And so you got to think about who's guarding you. And then when you think about who's guarding you, think about the type of spot you could actually get to. If you do get to a spot where, okay, I need to get to my spots according to who I got and get a bucket, like Kyrie just did right there and then with that shot right there. So know your spots, know your defender, and then also know help defense. Once you know those three things, it's going to make playing in isolations a lot easier. Now let's get on with the rest of this game, though. Watch EuroLeague ball. I heard a lot of people tell me watch EuroLeague, but there's gonna be a time where I really catch up and I lock in on EuroLeague. So don't worry, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be eventually at some point I'm gonna be watching EuroLeague. Let's talk about Iguodala for a couple plays though. Iguodala, this is two great defensive plays by Iguodala. Some things that just cannot get overlooked. So pay attention, right? So when Bron's in the post, he's not worried about Iguodala. He's reading that weak side. Weak side got no spacing right now. So Bron continues to stay patient, right? He continues to stay patient. And understanding their defense, Iguodala knows I got my double coming from the middle. And so what Bron is now going to do is he's going to go away from the double team. But now what Iguodala is going to do, being a step ahead of what Bron wants to do, understanding he wants to go away from it, I'm going to beat him to where he wants to go and lead him right back into the double team. And so now, boom, right here, we get the turnover on Bron. That's elite defensive play. A lot of people would overcompensate and just try to play straight up, ignore what's going to happen, ignore what the player's going to do. Iguodala already knew he's going to go away from that. Let me beat him to where he's going to go from, bring it right back to where I want him to get him to. Crazy play. Crazy play. This next one might even be just as crazy. Right, this next one is the recovery level on this is insane. So watch, right? So since Kyrie decides to attack strong side corner, you got this dig out of Draymond. Bron really ain't a shooter. Boom, change direction on that. And at this point in time, right, you can kind of tell by Kyrie's movement where he's gonna go. But if Kyrie wants to get into a shot, Iguodala has a height and the length to be able to recover on that. So Kyrie's gonna try to use the fact that Iguodala is gonna try to get back out to then get into this gap that's over here, right, that he's been able to create if Iguodala continues to move. But what Iguodala ends up doing is reaching low when he goes up. So while Kyrie read the movement, Iguodala was able to make a chest move by understanding what he's going to do and use his length. Crazy play. Crazy play. You got to strip on that, boom, right here, jump ball. That's how you actually use your length. A lot of players are tall, have long arms and all this stuff, don't really know how to use their length. But once you just begin to develop instincts, you don't have to specifically know that, but you just have to, it'll be easier to do certain things, right? It'll just be easier for you to get a steal, easier for you to get the reach, but you have to have the instinct of being in the right spot to understanding how players like to protect the ball. So let's talk about this weak side here in these ISOs. A lot of these ISOs are bad. Highest level basketball you played in. Not just crazy. It's not even about the level I played. It's about how much I thought when I did play. A lot of people don't think when they hoop. But I got to like D2. NAI, I was there for like 3 months. There for like 3 months, I was like, nah, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Y'all got to even understand. Even if someone goes to play at some of the highest level, some people are still dumb as a nut. I don't think y'all understand that. Because they don't play the game and actually think about what to do in all these different things as to which they are doing. They just simply do it, right? And if someone does tell them knowledge on something, usually what it is oftentimes is that they may tell them a thing or two about a certain thing, and since the player has so much talent and like a natural ability and instinct when they play the game, they don't need to put no context to anything that they do. They don't really need to put no more context to what it is. So me, on the other hand, I played the games ever since I started. I've just always been thinking about it. So But that's a tangent to go on for a different day. But pay attention to this though, right? So now Braun gets a switch with Barbosa. And this is how you actually play in isolation. I don't think a lot of people understand. So just look at Braun at this point, right? Anytime you see your teammate get a mismatch, don't just stand there and watch him cook. Do what Richard Jefferson's about to do, right? And since Iguodala is one pass away from Braun, Richard Jefferson decides to go and engage Iguodala by setting a flare, which now allows Braun to attack Barbosa and not worry about a help defender and can get straight into whatever he wants to get to. And Varejao is late on the strong side corner help guarding Kevin Love. Tough plays. Y'all can't just be sitting there stagnant when your teammate has a mismatch. Go do something to make it easier for him. Now here too. This is another thing. Talk about Golden State for a second. Peep Golden State for a second. So now when you get this switch with K Love and Clay, all right, off ball switch, Draymond, Clay, you go to Bron. But what Bron's now gonna do is he's gonna make the best out of what's next. And so at this point, watch Steph, right? Watch Steph. What Golden State wants to do at this point is now force everything down to the baseline and send help that way. But in understanding that, and with Clay just getting onto Bron and not being set as he should to play into exactly that scheme, because what Draymond would do at this point is go from being in the middle of this paint down here to around this baseline, is that Bron now, boom, he breaks to that middle before they can even get set. And Draymond's like, oh, shoot, I got to step up. Livingston, oh, shoot, I got to get love. And now, boom, Shumpert's open here in this corner. And this is the first three they hit the entire game, which is crazy, and one from the right side. But great move by Bron, great play. Attacking before they could get set is an easy way for you to be able to get into a lane, for you to score, or just make a play. And let's talk about J.R. Smith. Right, let's go full speed for some of these clips. So J.R. Smith had a better game than a lot of y'all remember. Because the only thing when it comes to J.R. Smith that y'all remember with NBA Finals is what happened in 2018. Right? But let's go back to 2016 and see what he did. Like the little stretch that he had in this game that made a huge difference. And so it begins here in this first quarter, right? He got the ball off the side of the baseline out of bounds. He's got Draymond in isolation. Now, the reason J.R. Smith could ISO like this, like it's a one-on-one, like all of y'all probably dream of, is the fact that he's playing next to LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love. He's the fourth option, but mind you, J.R. Smith is still nice. You watch J.R. Smith's game throughout the years, the only reason he's just been doing spot-up shooting is because that's the role he needed for this team, right? But now he got himself at a point where, oh, I see myself in isolation. I got Draymond in front of me. You got no help because they're not going to leave any of those other three players, and they'll live with the whatever I get out of this isolation. I do this all summer. You're cooked. I do this all summer. He's just going to get into what he gets to. This is all normal. Boom, got the lay. Halfway through the first, right? Very similar situation going to happen here, beginning of the third quarter, and this is where his stretch begins, right? This is where his stretch begins. He's got Ezeli on his right side, right? Ezeli, Draymond, don't matter. We in a one-on-one right now. No help really loaded up. Hit him with a jab, boom, one dribble pull-up in that mid-range bucket. Don't worry about nothing. This is a one-on-one that y'all think should happen every time you play with fives, but it's not like that, right? It's not like that. You really go against the entire defense, not just one player, right? J.R. Smith got to that second bucket, and now he's only had 2 ISOs. So you'll probably think he's been cooking off this ISO. We did once, got it. Twice, got it. He's 2 for 2. Run it again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But that's not how the game works. That's not how the game works. So what's going to end up happening now, also understanding that he is the fourth option, right? He's the fourth option. What's now going to happen, you utilize the gravity of your teammates to make the game easier. And so what happens now, boom, you got Steph over here, high on the post, Ezeli steps over, throw over here to Thompson, he gets that flow. And now even the next time down, what's going to end up happening is even going to be more on the horn, right? Understand, Bron, number 1 option. He's got Steph. He sets the screen on the Draymond. We know they're going to hard hedge because they don't want Steph on Bron, but they want to take away the driving angle. And Draymond doesn't know he needs to switch this on J.R. Smith at this point. He gets loose, had those 2 makes before, also had the misses, knocked that one down, right? Use the gravity of Bron for him to get himself some space. And now, also want you to understand this. Look how close Draymond is to J.R. Smith at this point, right? That is exactly why you got to make hundreds of thousands of shots if you just want to be able to make 40% in the game. Because what's going on mentally and subconsciously, what you have to do is maintain the same exact mechanics regardless of the external circumstances. And when you have someone this tight to your vicinity, literally hand to hand, running at you, you're moving at this speed, all this other stuff going on, this is why you got to get hundreds of thousands of makes in. And making 50 to 100 shots a day won't cut it if you want to get to this level at a certain point in time, right? All you got to say when it comes down to that, that's why you got to get those shots up, man. 100 ain't going to cut it. You got to at least be getting out 250 a day, at least 250 makes a day. And now continuously understand this. J.R. Smith still using the gravity of his teammates so that he could be able to get his looks off as well, right? So now you got Bron here with Steph in the post. Boom, Kyrie over here on his weak side. That's a great elite play by Kyrie. Elite play by Kyrie. So even in the third quarter alone, right? In the third quarter alone, you seen J.R. Smith burn off 5 of them. We only about 3 minutes in, right? Not even 3 minutes in, as a matter of fact. Kyrie understands the fact that J.R. Smith has it going and not him or Kevin Love. He ends up setting this screen because with Steph on Bron, they have to load up and they have to rotate. So what now ends up happening, boom, send this to JR. I set this flare. Clay hard close, rip through one dribble pull right there off that 3-point line. Bucket. Another bucket. But this is where being human comes in, right? This is where being human comes in. You didn't see him get the ISOs. You didn't see him get those 2 threes. But now what ends up happening is something that we all experience in games, right? Where you're hot, but you can't stay hot forever, right? You can't stay hot forever. And so what ends up happening is that a couple plays later, J.R. Smith tries to lob it to Bron, blocked by Steph right there. And what ends up happening, turns the ball over, Steph comes down, he gets a layup, right? That ends your hot streak right there in itself, right? That ends the hot streak. But they're still like, all right, next play down, let's still go back to JR because he still got it going, right? He's got himself some buckets throughout this third quarter. Let's lean on it. Let's give him another chance, right? Transition play, that was a transition play. But even what happens now, he gets this pin down from Tristan Thompson, handoff down into the lane, poke from behind, turnover. It's called basketball, bro. It's called basketball. But the key when things like that happen, you get hot, then you turn the ball over a few times, you miss a few shots, you make a few bad plays, is that you don't allow the level that you play at to also follow what's been happening actually in the game. You got to remain neutral and always remember how hard you've worked to get to where you are thus far and continuously play with that level of confidence. Let's slow this down right quick. Let's talk about Bron. What are the best players to study for undersized fast guard? I would say this. I don't even say necessarily for a certain type of player. Think about what you need help with and think about players that do that well. Watch that. Just watch that. Whatever you need help with, watch someone that does it good. So now, Pete Bron as well. Pete Bron, handling pressure. So understand. Let me go back one more time. So pay attention. So watch Bron's head whenever he picks the ball up and faces pressure, right? Picks the ball up now. Now Curry gets into his grill. Watch his eyes. He's looking over Curry. He's not worried about what's going on with Steph. He gives the ball up to J.R. Smith, and now he's going to reestablish another angle for him to get the ball back. But even when he gets the ball back, right, he dribbles, picks the ball up again. Someone's right in front of him. He has nothing, but where is he looking? Behind Klay Thompson, not panicking, right, not excessively pivoting, not moving too much. What he's going to do is just simply read the defense and see who's open. Lobs that to the middle to Kevin Love, right? Staying poised under pressure is what's going to allow you to alleviate pressure and be able to make the right play. Stay poised. Now here at Tristan Thompson, I want you to pay attention to this, right? So look. So watch Steph, right? Tristan Thompson's leading him to his left side. So what Steph decides to do is a pound step back, but since he led him left, that left-handed Tristan Thompson is right on his shooting hand, and so Steph ends up breaking. But then notice this, right? Notice this. The next time Steph gets Tristan Thompson on him, fourth quarter, he's still leading him to the left. But the move that Steph uses is now a cross, because with that cross, that left-handed Tristan Thompson moved as he shifted the weight as well. So now Steph could get up into that shot and not worry about a hand like he did before, because the pound step back didn't work. Had to hit him with a cross, get some separation that way, instead of trying to use that pound and just go straight up into my shot. So different moves will work for different types of defenders. It's just your ability to get rid of that hand, particularly in a situation like that. That hand that they're going to be contesting with, especially if it's on that strong side. Now, peep this here with the Ezeli as well. Brown's fooling Ezeli on this. So, 2016, Brown did not have a great jump shot, right? But yet, with 5.5 minutes left in the fourth, up by 4, Game 7 of the finals. Ezeli on Braun, falls for the pump fake, boom, he sends him to the line. Everybody's heated. Everybody, you've seen everybody throw their hands up. Look, Clay, boom. Steph, boom. Draymond, come on, why are you jumping on Braun at the three-point line? It's the finals. All plays matter, right? So Braun waves him right back up, right? Waves him right back up, because Ezeli, what are you doing now here? You just starting getting your minutes in the last game of the series? You're about to get cooked. Come on. And now this time, understand the fact that, okay, when I attacked Ezeli and I got that switch last time, he jumped. This time, he's not going to want to jump. And so what's going to end up happening when Braun decides to get into his shot, that hand isn't really going to be there. And I just hit 3 free throws before that. So I have my rhythm on my shot. I see no hand when I get into my shot. And so my shot now goes down. This entire series was them attacking isolations and mismatches, and them just being able to get the edge just enough to win, which was an amazing thing to see and really crazy. But that's the end of that breakdown. That's the end of the Game 7 2016. Let me know other games y'all want me to watch, any players y'all want me to watch for next stream, and I'm gonna see what I could do. I'm gonna take all the recommendations to mind. But let me peek chat before I slide out. Where you got that shirt from? I forgot. It's like radar clothing or some shit like that. It took a dumb long for this shit to get in, but yeah, Kanye t-shirt. I got a couple of them. I got a few of them. It's like Radar Clothing Club, something like that. It took them like a month to ship out though. I'll beware. It took like a month for it to ship out. And this is a medium. How do I stop? Okay, yeah, that's where I was. How do I stop zone out when I play? Feels like I'm just on autopilot. I don't think about anything. I mean, you shouldn't be thinking. A lot of people would ask, how do I stop thinking? A lot of people ask, how do I stop thinking? But you should just let yourself hoop and play. Like, if there's something that goes wrong and you find yourself enough time to be able to think about it. But once you got to play, just play off flow. Just play off flow. Study Brunson, Isaiah Thomas. 2 good examples. Just think about what you don't, like I said before, think about what you don't do well, watch someone who does it good. How do I start analyzing the effectiveness of moves and how they start and end like you? I mean, y'all gotta understand, the way I peep a move and understand why a move work is I look at what they looked at, so they know how. So I understand why they use the move, right? Instead of looking at, okay, Kyrie made this part of his body do that part of his body do this. There's a time and place for that. But if you're playing in a 5-on-5, that's not what you can be thinking about. If you just want to simply have the physical capacity to make the move, okay, by any means, go ahead and do that. But